Hey guys, it's Dwight. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. So today's project is we're going to work on a 24 by 36 canvas. We're going to use a variety of colors from copper and gold, some blues and purple, and just a little bit of white in there as well. So I'm going to use my colander because I love using the colander. It provides such a nice composition and very interesting as well. So in a moment, I'm going to show you my paints and show you the consistencies, but I want to remind you how I mix my paints. Now my color paints, the ones I put into the colander, are mixed 1 part paint, 2 to 4 parts Floetrol, a drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium, and water to thin. And my black paint, which is my dump paint in this pour, I use 1 part paint, 3 to 5 parts Floetrol, a drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium, and of course water to thin. Just a reminder, if you're mixing paints, make sure you strain them. I've been finding more and more paints seem to have lumps in them, which drives me crazy when I move them on the canvas. So yeah, get a couple of strainers, strain your paints, and you'll have a nice smooth paint and it'll look great on the canvas. Okay, I'm gonna mix some paints and I'll show you those in just a moment. Okie dokie, here we are, back with my mixed paints. I have them laid out in the order that I'm going to be pouring them. However, I will start with the white, just a little bit in front of the copper. So I'm going to do copper, gold, and then I'm going to do the light purple, the dark purple, the light blue, and then the rest of the white and the dark blue. So there are my color choices. They're all either a mixture of Dazzling Metallics or Gotta Deal brand paints. Now this canvas, like I said before, is a gallery wrapped level 2 Michaels canvas. Got my colander over there, and there is my dump paint. So let me show you the consistencies. Let's see, let's try the gold here. It's kind of hard because I usually do it with my left hand. So it's basically just going in, maybe a very slight little amount. I'll have to double check that in a second. So what I usually do after I paint the edges and the corners, I go back, I check all the consistencies and get them all, as close as possible, because you need that for the puddle to kind of move evenly across the canvas. Okay, so I'll move everything out of the way, I'll get everything prepped, and we'll get started. Okay, canvas is prepped. Say hello, and let's get started. So there's my colander. I usually place it pretty much in the middle of the canvas. Now I typically start with a little bit of white on the bottom. It just somehow brightens the paints that are underneath it. So I started with the copper, about half a cup, and then I added the gold, and the copper again, finishing off that cup, and the rest of the gold. Now I paired it next to the purple. So I did the dark purple first, and then the light purple. And then I decided to pour the light blue on top of that. Such a nice contrast. Then the rest of the white, and then the dark blue on top of that. Now this color combination I'm really excited about, not just what I have here on the canvas, but also that I'm thinking about a future pour with doing purple, gold, and copper. I think that should look pretty cool. Okay, right now I'm checking the consistencies of my black paint, wiping off my stir stick, and getting ready to lift up the colander. Now I've mentioned before in previous videos, the center doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get as much paint off as I need to. Now I pour my black paints off center, and I've mentioned this before because I end up usually tilting, at least on this screen, in the lower left corner. Now I could tilt it to the upper left corner as well. I just want more real estate, so to speak, for the paint to travel over. So here we go, the last corner. You can see the cells coming up on the edges. And when I put that down, once again, I saw that most of the color was starting to come through and there were tons of cells popping up. Again, this indicates to me that we're going to have a great pour. So this is a process that takes some time as the paints underneath start to make their way to the surface. The black paint, I believe, sometimes is a little bit more dense, and so it sinks a little bit. So I put this on time lapse and you can see suddenly all the color pops in. It gets more intense as this video goes on. I love the strands of white and the little ring of white around the negative space. These colors are quite brilliant together. Okay, let's look at the first wet results. Okay guys, here I am with the final walkthrough, or a final wet walkthrough actually. I'm going to see, I'll show you in a minute where I think there's going to be some changes. Overall, this is done moving, and actually I'm very happy with the color combination. I'll show you up close in just a minute, and I do like that the negative space is sort of oblong and not so symmetrical. So let me show you some of the colors up close. As you can see, the purple, the blue, the copper, and the gold, and the reflection on my wall. So let me see, that's a little bit better over here. Yeah, I think it's really cool. So I'm gonna slowly walk around. The way I just showed you a second ago is probably how I'm gonna hang it if I hang it. It's not gonna be in this orientation for some reason. Okay. So it's hard for you to really see the color, but it's really quite beautiful, if I do say so myself. Purple, I love the purple with the copper. The trail of white. Oh, I wish I didn't have that glare for you guys. And so what I'm hoping, I'm not sure if it's going to change much, but see these little cells here? They're sort of slowly coming in. They may not come in. I would love for them to fill in just a little bit to give it just a little bit more oomph. So if it dries just like this, I have very little touch-ups. You probably say, touch-ups? Well, you know, I may just trim these and make these round, just around the edges there, and that's all. I don't really see anything else unless something crazy happens to it while it's continuing to dry. So I'm going to do my torch over it one more time, and I'll leave it alone for overnight. I think the purple is what really makes this for me. It's just, yeah, very happy. Okay, guys, so there's my window. So I will show you the final dried results, and I'll talk to you first about any touch-ups that need to be done. Okay guys, here I am. I am back in my studio the next morning. And yeah, the colors are quite brilliant. I've mentioned before, since I work on the floor, you know, I have a lot of light coming in, so it looks duller in the video than it does in person. So let me just show you how it dried. I'll show you up close. I realized in some of the other segments, I moved pretty quickly over the canvas and you really couldn't see the details. But that gold and that copper, I love the way it bled into the blue and how it sort of speckled throughout the canvas. The negative space is great too. I have very little touch-ups to do. Those little dots that I showed you, they came in just a little bit, not a whole lot, but the contrast between the black and the color is quite beautiful. Now right there on the edge, I'm going to just trim those back just around them. But other than that, this is what we got. Okay, so I'm going to trim this up. I'll show you the final results and then we will be done. Okay guys, here I am with the final dried results. So I did clean up this corner a little bit right here. Very little, very subtle. I didn't do too much. I just sort of rounded a little bit. I know they're kind of oblong still, but I didn't want to take too much away from it. This is the orientation that I love. I think this will work really well. I can't wait to varnish it. I may attempt to resin again, but I've had some bad luck with that recently, so I don't want to ruin a painting or have to go back and sand it and start over, so it's a whole nother conversation. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and once again, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. You know, it's free. It just helps me reach more people, and you know, you can hit the notifications and you can be notified whenever a new video comes out. I'm going to be working on another one real soon. It's going to be a monochromatic pour, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and hope to see you real soon.